A few months ago, we spoke about United's evolving transfer strategy and how it had shifted. We saw that working in real time during the summer, and we're continuing to see it work. I'm excited for it. I want to talk about United's refreshed approach, what's happened now, and how important it is for building the sort of genuine squad our club hasn't had in a long time. So when it comes to United's transfer strategy, we did a video a few months ago speaking about that shift towards signing Premier League quality and combining it with signing some of the best youngsters. And we're just continuing to see that evolve and more examples of it. And it feels really good, I'll be honest, to talk about a connected up thought process at our football club. Chris Vavell, I don't think he's the man in charge, the mastermind of this strategy. I think it'll be Vavell, it'll be Wilcox, it'll be United's footballing department deciding on it. But Vavell is leading on the younger signings. And that's what we're going to be focusing on in this video. Because, look, United of old, we always used to do it. Whether it was Andy Cole, whether it was Michael Carrick, Dimitar Berbatov, and sure, there's plenty of other examples as well of United snapping at Eric Cantona, if you want to go that far back. United signing the best of the rest in the Premier League and building that as the core, and then building younger signings around that and the signings from the academy. That's the strategy. And I think if we continue to do it, it's going to build the squad that we wanted for a while. Like this summer, we blended it with Šeško and Le Mans younger signings. In an ideal world, we would have an established striker for Šeško. We don't have that right now. It's not a complete squad, but we're getting towards it. Still some way to go, I'll be totally honest. And the conversation I want to start with today is Kees Smit. This is a 19-year-old lad from AZ Alkmaar, if you've not heard of him. Now, Sully, to be fair to Sully Talks, he's clearly got sources inside the club, and that's why I'm willing enough to have a conversation about this. And it's not just Kees Smit we're talking about here. Don't think it's the first time that we've been linked with a move for him. But if you don't know who Kees Smit is, AZ Alkmaar have had a very successful youth team for a good few years. I think 3 years ago they won the UEFA Youth League. You can see Kees Smit having a great time down there. The 19-year-old has broken into AZ Alkmaar's first team now. And there's plenty of clubs that have been linked with him. And you can see the price there. You'll remember I've said quite a few times what United need to do. Now, I'm not saying that he is the next Carlos Baleba or he is the next Moises Caicedo. But United need to find that player before that player costs 100 mil. You can see the price linked there. This is somebody who's just broken in. Well, he's got a little bit more experience, I suppose, playing in the Dutch league. But we know full well that that doesn't always translate across to the Premier League. But this is United looking at some of the best talents around Europe. And this is a good thing. Now, we'll probably do a video. I think we can do a video really on Kees Smit, on exactly what player he is. If you watch him play, man, he's got a hell of a lot of quality on the ball. Really good at driving with the ball. Yeah, you can understand why plenty of clubs and why United will be linked with him in a position where we desperately need signings. But as well as Kees Smit, I'm going to pull up the photo of Lenny Yoro here because when it comes to the French league, there really is an abundance of talent. I don't know whether it's because the French league, from a physicality perspective, is the closest to the Premier League in terms of the other top 5 leagues. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's the academy teams and the younger signings that the French sides are able to make. I don't know it. But the success of Lenny Yoro, hey, we signed Lenny Yoro for more than 50 mil. It wasn't as if we did spot a gem, but it was an established gem. And that's why we're going to have a conversation about two slightly different players here from Rennes, in Jeremy Xhaka and Kader Maita. Now, in terms of Xhaka, he is 20. He's established. He's just extended his contract in May. This isn't exactly United going out and finding and plucking somebody that nobody knows about. No, this is sort of an established player who is a first-team regular for Rennes. And in terms of what sort of player he is, again, you can go there and have a conversation about Lenny Yoro. Lenny Yoro is that athletic, ball playing. You know, the way I look at centre-backs now is the way that I saw the shift in goalkeepers a few years ago. A few years ago, maybe you can go further back than that, goalkeepers had to be goalkeepers. And then the way the football shifted along, goalkeepers had to become playmakers. And that's where Alisson and Ederson stood out. I feel like that shift has happened with centre-backs. Centre-backs used to be centre-backs. Now centre-backs are expected to be able to cover the wide channels, to run forward, to bring the ball forward, to progress it, to do more than just be a centre-back. And that's where he absolutely ticks all those boxes. But because he's established, I'm not saying that he would cost 50 mil like Lenny Yoro, but it's kind of a Lenny Yoro style signing. And on the opposite side, you've got Kademaita. He's 18. He signed his first professional contract with Rennes last November. So he's had a year. He's established in their first team now. And I tell you what, if you watch him play, for a player that size, he shouldn't be doing what he's doing as a winger. I need to watch him a hell of a lot more before I can give you a full opinion on him. But this might just be United going back towards, looking at, I say back towards, following on from the Lenny Yoro success, and then looking towards the French league for more signings like that. And then we can go, I say further afield, but this is a player I've spoken about. And again, Ayub Bouadi plays for Lille. He's broken through. He's established in the same team that we signed Lenny Yoro from. I wouldn't be surprised to see us being linked with him. I think he's going to cost more towards the Lenny Yoro side of things because he is established. But these are the different sorts of players that we're getting linked with. And look, Salvador Blopper, an 18-year-old prospect from Sporting as well. United, I can go further afield and I can speak about signing Christian Orozco, the 17-year-old Colombian who's going to be joining in June as an 18-year-old that we're signing from the South American market. Or you can speak about, again, South American market in Diego Leon that we signed from Paraguay. And I think this is kind of reflective. Like, you'll obviously have no idea who this lad is, and I didn't until yesterday either. I'll be completely honest. Dina Ordonez. Chelsea just agreed a deal to sign a 16-year-old lad in January 2028. That's how competitive these sorts of signings are going to become. Because Chelsea just sweeping up. We don't need to speak about Chelsea, but this strategy from United, signing first team, I would say your big two signings every season from now on are Premier League proven where we can. Focus on that first in that market. This summer, I think we're going to do that in terms of midfielders. You already know the list. But on top of that, you supplement that by looking at some of the best youngsters from Europe. Kees Smit. We signed Lenny Yoro. That was a success. What about Jeremy Jacquet? I don't know. What about Kademaita? We'll have a look at him. Well, what about Ayub Bouadi? We'll have a look at him as well. What about? So you get the point here. We're getting linked with lots and lots of players. It doesn't mean that we're going to sign all of them, but this sort of scouting, and this is what United should be doing. And this is the triple-pronged strategy, I suppose. Number one, Premier League proven qualities. Then you supplement that by signing the best of what Europe has. In terms of sometimes already established in the French league or the Dutch league. They might come at probably somewhere between 20 and 40 million. Not quite the 100 mil, but they could work out. And then on top of that, you sign the best youngsters from around the world. And maybe you find your gems. And if you do those three things correctly at the same time, you build a squad that's capable of challenging for titles. It sounds so simple on paper. It's not. You have to have the best scouts, the best data, the best people leading your decision making. And it feels like, as unorganised as we have been as a football club in a long time, it feels like this process is starting to get connected up. That's exciting.